So here is an amethyst cluster. And I'm also wearing my amethyst earrings. And I'm wearing my amethyst pendant. Isn't that pretty? It's got an opal too. Usually I just wear these things for ceremony. And then I have my cluster strategically placed in a room. Actually, I might have several clusters or points. Point is just a single terminated crystal. I use amethyst primarily for protection, and it is so powerful for protection. Let's go back to when I was just being introduced to the crystals. This was a very long time ago because I had an electric typewriter back in those days. And I noticed that when I sat in front of my typewriter that I felt drained after I'd been there for a while. And a friend of mine said, "Did you ever try amethyst?" I thought, what's that got to do with it? And she said, "Oh, you know, if you wear amethyst, that it will protect you from electromagnetic radiation and other things." I thought she was nuts, but I try to practice being open-minded, and I will try almost anything. So she said, "Come on, I'll take you to the crystal shop, and we'll get you an amethyst pendant. They're really cheap, and try it and see." So we went to the crystal shop, and in those days, a little amethyst pendant cost maybe $9, $10, and we got this little necklace for me. And next time I sat down in front of my electric typewriter, I put my amethyst pendant on, and sure enough, I didn't feel drained sitting in front of my electric typewriter. And wow, this is pretty impressive. Well, for some reason, when I took it off, I put it in my purse. So when I wasn't wearing it, I was carrying it around with me. And I was told that if I hold it in my hands and pray with it and ask that it be charged with the ability to protect me, that would make it even stronger. So I did that. Well, then I went to a psychic fair. This was the very first psychic fair I had ever been to. And I'm pretty sensitive to energy. I remember there's these big double doors, and they were closed when I came up to this place, and I opened the doors, and as I went in, I had this sensation of being kind of knocked over by the powerful energy in this place. And it felt like it was partly a negative powerful energy and partly a positive powerful energy. So I went back outside, took some breaths, and then I was getting ready to leave. And then I heard a voice, and it said, "Put on your amethyst." Well, over the years, I've learned that when I hear the voice, if I do what it says, that I will be happy about that. And if I don't, I will wish that I had. I'm still in the process of getting to the point where there's absolutely no resistance anymore to the voice. It's pretty close, but I think the problem is that we tend to think that it's coming from someplace outside ourselves. And then we feel like, well, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'm going to figure out for myself whether this is good or not. But the part that figures out whether it's good or not is the mind. And the mind is wonderful for certain things. But the fact is that the intuition is faster and much more accurate when it comes to analyzing energy. And that's where I was needing to analyze this energy, and the voice was helping me out. All right. So I put on my amethyst pendant, and rather trepidatiously, I opened up the double doors. I went in, and wow, it was really different. It was like, it felt like I could absorb the good energy that was there, and the kind of dark energy that was there was, I didn't even feel it. I didn't even feel it. So what amethyst does is it bounces off the energy that is not good for you. So it keeps a kind of aura of protection around you. It only lets in that which is harmonious with you. And so if you have a cluster and you place it in a room, the cluster is wonderful because it sets up energy going, in lots of different directions. And it purifies the energy of the room, and it gets rid of negative energy. It transmutes it. And the way I understand that is that we're in the violet light, or even the indigo light. It's kind of in between the two. And it's where red changes into blue, or where blue changes into red. And in order to do that, in the color spectrum, you have to make a color wheel. It has to go in a full circle. So purple, the color purple, or violet, and the amethyst is in the sphere of transmutation. There's something that we call the violet light of Saint Germain. Saint Germain is an ascended master, and the violet light of Saint Germain is this psychic light that when you're doing, for example, if you're doing psychic healing and you remove a growth from the body, put it, usually what we do is we have a burlap bag, and we put it in the burlap bag, and then at the end of the session, we empty the burlap bag into the violet light of Saint Germain, and that causes it to break up into free atoms, to dissolve, where it no longer has the ability to hurt anybody, and it can be used constructively. So that's the violet light and the amethyst.